Media Advisor to Minister of State for Education, Dr. Subhas Sarkar, and due to certain engagement, he couldn't be here. Hear me?
Abhishek,
Amitji, could you hear me?
talk
Yes.
about
Could you hear?
and the aspirational constituencies, how that can be,
Yes.
aligned with the Prime Minister's objectives of bringing the entire country together, using this aspirational districts model as a base, idea for developing constituencies using the corporate money. Because that is how all the MPs belonging to any of the parties, doesn't matter. We are pushing this agenda for all the Sansas, all the MPs of this country, irrespective of the political affiliations. So over to you, Mr. Ranjan. What do you have to say for CSR for aspirational constituencies? What are the major areas that have to be driven? And would you like to shed some light about, sectorally or territorially, how that roadmap could be created? We had Mr. Jambe Sering, MP of Ladakh, speaking to us on this subject a few minutes back. He said that he needs a lot of boost from the mining and tourism sector. Similarly, from your perspective, what would you like to suggest? And Mr. Pala, I think you seem to have a problem with your connection. We do not like guests having the cameras and mics off. So I'll have to put you out of this show. Thank you.
Thank you, Amitji, for organizing this particular webinar and discussing on a very critical issue of CSR and the aspirational district. As we all know, the Honorable Prime Minister has taken up the initiative of aspirational districts in which. Can you hear me?
Abhishek, can you hear me?
Hello.
Abhishek, you can start
Hello.
the subject of CSR for aspirational constituencies. We'll have the visitors coming one by one. You can start speaking.
Yeah, sure. So thank you, Amitji, for organizing this particular event and speaking and allowing to speak on such a critical issue. So my member of parliament is from West Bengal, Bankura, and the kind of parameters on which we are looking for, to work on this particular aspect, we are focusing on the aspects of education, health, and the primary health care in our constituency. So where I think both corporate and CSR can come into the picture is in the particularly in the area of health and education, and under the aspirational district program, which is an initiative of Niti Aayog, where most of the parameters are taken into account and the districts are being arranged. So I think the CSR part can also come into the picture, where all those parameters can be tracked and where the emphasis needs to go. CSR can also look into that particular aspect, where the more emphasis should be given. So collectively, I particularly believe that CSR, which has been incorporated in 2013, should be more it's in
Abhishek, what are the areas from the pandemic perspective that you would like to suggest to the audience for CSR initiatives and health education, which are the main driving organizations that are there in your cognizance who are helping in the upliftment of education and health in this country? Because those are the organizations, we know Tata Trust does a lot of work. There are so many foundations like the Bill Gates and Melinda Gates Foundation that are doing a lot of work. From the IT perspective, a lot of companies like Google and all are working towards IT education in this country. What are the other organizations? Who are the other organizations that are there in your cognizance who are doing some reasonable good work in the field of CSR?
No, thank you. The world has been, divided into pre and post COVID world now. So from a very policy lens, if you see, we need to focus on the healthcare aspects. We all have seen the ongoing crisis, and it's still, zero Macron has been found. So we need to restructure and understand the impact of these pandemics in our current ongoing situation. So, in order to, uh, uh, bring more stakeholders in this particular fight against the pandemic. So, you were mentioning about certain organizations, but still, in terms of giving more power to organizations which are there, who can contribute in a fight against the pandemic. Today 50% of our population has been fully vaccinated. Above 125 crore doses of vaccine has been given to our population, and still, we will achieve the fully vaccination status very soon, I hope. But we need to create more infrastructure, and we need to empower our government machinery and our organizations in a better way. So here, the role of organizations, as you were mentioning, they can be given more, uh, I mean, more power in the sense that they can reach to the last mile, and they can help our government organizations in a effective implementation of strategies.
Okay, Mr. Vaiti Lingam, are you there? Mr. Vaiti, are you there? Can you hear us? Is your audio having a problem? Vaiti, would like to hear from you about CSR for constituencies. South India has got states like Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, which have done a very good job from the CSR initiatives perspective. Maharashtra has been probably one of the leaders in the country. Any other states, and which are the areas you would like to suggest? And do you know some MPs or some politicians or ministers who've done really very good work in the field of CSR? Mr. Vaiti, are you there? Can we hear you? You're connected to the audio. Your audio is still not connected. Abhishek, we'll have to wait. Abhishek, what are the areas you suggest for, including in the CSR? There are CSR rules prescribe, Schedule 7 prescribes of the Companies Act prescribes a few areas where CSR initiatives can be undertaken. Which are the areas would you like to suggest? Because it is a huge field. India is a very, very complex country, and we need investments for various other sectors apart from those 9 mentioned in the Schedule 7. Education, health, tourism, skill development, cultural heritage maintenance, investment in the incubation centers. What else? What else could be looked at? I mean, I feel road transport and safety is one very important area.